Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. So we want to keep it nice and simple in this video, only looking at the short-term price action, because looking at the bigger picture, not much has changed. So we keep it simple, not to confuse people, because I get it, on the higher time frame, some of the scenarios, if we talk about 2 or 3, well, if we talk about 2, it's fairly simple, but as soon as the third scenario comes in, it's getting quite messy. And best maybe at the moment to just focus here on the lower time frame price action, because the levels are fairly well defined. So since we rallied out of our support area, our trend reversal area here to the upside in basically 5 waves, well, Bitcoin has created here a nice impulse. So we can say with some confidence that the trend has shifted from this local downtrend back to an uptrend. 5 waves up, yeah? And I'm looking at a 3-wave move down that could be occurring here. Basically, we have everything we need, right? We have those 5 waves up off the November lows. We had a corrective price pattern that rallied or that dropped actually into our larger support area. So 5 up, 3 down, 5 up. What else do you want, right? It's the best confirmation you can get. Bear in mind, confirmation isn't certainty. It's not certainty. There are always some alternative scenarios that could lead to a breakdown. Worth knowing that this is possible still and not too unlikely. It is what it is. That's why we've got those key support levels on the chart. And here for this particular scenario, for a possible 1-2 setup, the idea is that as long as we're holding basically 21K, we can go higher in a third wave. So wave 1 to the upside, wave 2 to the downside, wave 3 to the upside could send us to 30K plus. A possible catalyst for this? Maybe an announcement that the Fed isn't going to raise interest rates. Absolutely possible. PPI data came in quite positive, I would say. We have the banking crisis. I don't think the Fed saw it coming, and they had the emergency meeting. It could very well be they are not going to increase interest rates anymore, or at least they are going to pause it for a while. Yeah, I think it would be irresponsible to just carry on and let all those banks die. Funny side story, by the way. I think I did read it somewhere that in the US, they had more banks fail than I think any other country in the world. Or was it more like the US had more banks fail than the entire, all banks in every country in the world together? It's just because the US have a lot of smaller banks. And I don't know why that happens. But obviously they can't afford that, with the larger banks and too many of them. So you just get that fallout and the contagion spreading. So I think they have to do something. So that could be, and maybe that was partially priced in, but I think we still have sort of 25 basis points priced in. It could be very, very positive news for crypto if they stop raising interest rates, or at least stop it for a while. So that's going to be interesting, and that could be a catalyst for higher if anybody is looking for a fundamental reason, but we know that the Fed is always only reacting. And if you're interested in finding out why, then check out the channel membership. I do share information about that from time to time. There's absolute evidence for that the Fed isn't making the rates. The rates are made on the market. The Fed is purely reacting to them. So yeah, still we watch the rates, right? Because, sort of it's a bit of fun in the month, but basically it's pointless because it's the market deciding the rates. So if you want to know what the market is doing, just check out the bond rates, okay? So, and then you know what the Fed is going to do. Best forecast ever. But yeah, so I'm generally, I mean, the forecast is higher as long as we're holding 21K, okay? Now, the thing is, we haven't really dropped much. I mean, Ethereum has dropped quite a bit today. Yeah, quite a bit. Some altcoins have dropped quite a bit. Bitcoin hasn't. Okay, my explanation for that is the ETH BTC chart. Forecast worked out. Yeah, I already showed you that. I think yesterday I made a video, and the day before I published that on Discord, Telegram for channel members, that we had here this Elliott Wave triangle. It seems to be breaking. Of course, nothing's going to move down in a straight line, so you expect a bit of up and down, but the trend seems to be going down in this C wave, which means it's the ETH BTC chart, which means that over the next few weeks, Ethereum should be outperformed by Bitcoin. Now, we've seen the evidence for that today in the charts, in the USD charts, in that Ethereum kept dropping while Bitcoin is actually holding quite well. So I'm thinking, what could it be? Because yes, surely, I mean, this could be a short ABC, a short wave 2. Absolutely, the thing is that as long as we stay above 23k, above the 50% retracement, I could make a case for the wave 1 is still going. Yeah, it would be completely out of line with other coins, but it's a possibility that we get some that the wave 2 hasn't even started, that we might get one more rally into the 27k region from here. And I would personally just look at this trend channel. When this trend channel breaks, I think we can make, well, there's two things. We can make a case that this would be a last wave of the wave 1, or possible, as long as we stay below 26,000, it could be a B wave, a larger B wave, and we then come down. So it's a bit, yeah, it's a bit unclear to me why. Well, it's not, the question isn't why, but Bitcoin isn't really following to the downside. The other coins are. So is Bitcoin in a slightly different pattern? Yeah, not sure. The thing is, it has done what it needs to do, right? So it came down in 3 waves. That's important. And the C wave ended below the A wave. And it's very stubborn. It doesn't really want to come down lower. So I would encourage you to take a look at this trend line. I think a break out of the trend line here could be an indication we might be pushing for 27k. But there is resistance along the way. And key resistance here is 26k. Could be the B wave high. Okay. But above that level, 27k, 28k. In an extension of the wave 1. I wouldn't really know how it would fit into the bigger picture, but we need to be open to the idea that wave C isn't going to be very long, right? So I just see that, you know, whenever something isn't playing out as it really ideally should, we need to think about, what could it be? So that means if anybody wants to get in Bitcoin, I mean, don't tell you what to do, but consider that this support area was basically nearly touched already. The C wave is below the A wave. It doesn't really want to come down. A lot of altcoins are nearly at their key support levels. Bitcoin isn't. So are we actually in a slightly different pattern? It's just something that it wouldn't surprise me if it makes another extension to the upside. In an ideal world, it would have come down with Ethereum like that, yeah, into the region between 22,795 and 21,220. That's sort of these extension levels if I compare waves A and wave C. In something like this, yeah, but maybe something different is going on. I mean, forecast on the lower time frame would still be go down lower, at least to 23k. But again, we can only analyze what we see, and what I see is that Bitcoin is extremely stubborn, doesn't really want to go down. Many altcoins have dropped today. Bitcoin hasn't really. Here, I mean, look at this. I mean, you see ADA 5.6%. You see here is it Engine 10%, a Bitcoin 1.5%, right? It's quite interesting. And all coins dropped hard, but Bitcoin didn't. So yeah, I mean, it can still be that it's following through. If it still comes down lower, I would say that Bitcoin has just done its wave 2 and might be coming down in a third wave. Might be unfolding as an ending diagonal here with overlapping waves. So we need to keep an open mind here, but there is no guarantee this will come down much lower. I'm just saying I would keep an eye on that channel. I mean, it's going to follow the channel. And if you break out to the channel to the upside, you have a signal that this wave C is over. Until then, it's following the plan to come down. But this would be the signal, you know, a break out of the channel. I might not be there when it happens. So watch that for you, watch that. And I think then we have a case to make that it could rally to sort of first 25, 26k in resistance. And if it breaks through here, it can put this additional extension in to 27, 28k, depending on how low we eventually come here. So yeah, that's best I can tell about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.